Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett said, don't run through that brick wall. Take your ass in the end zone with the football in your hand. Run through that for me. Because that's what would have saved my job, Jason Witten. Talking to you, because you dropped a couple third downs. We saw that up in New England. But you ain't mentioned that. Jared should have mentioned that in there, because put all the blame on Jason Garrett, Skip Bayless. They need to stop this, run through a brick. Jason Garrett's in this situation because you haven't run through brick walls for Jason Garrett. Expectations of what we should be. What should you be, Jason Witten? Tell me. What should you be? Since you've been there, Jason Garrett, how many NFC championship games you been to? How many Super Bowls, Jason? Oh, this is the most talent I've been around. And what has it gotten you, Jason? I need to hear. You're going back and forth. Whatever that seems to fit the narrative that you need to be at that time, that's where he is. Jerry says this, every right. Oh, we gonna run through a brick wall for Jason. You know good and well, that man don't get y'all riled up like that. He ain't giving that kind of pep talk, Skip. It takes a special kind of guy that can put a guy in a frame of mind, trust me, that he'll go over the top for you. Now, I played for a guy on special teams named Richard Smith. He's the linebacker coach here at the Chargers. He could get you to go over the top. You know how I know, Skip? Because Anthony Lynn, who's the head coach there, we were in Barcelona playing the Raiders, in Barcelona playing overseas international game. And he came in and he showed the tape the night before. He says, I want guys hitting the beach like in Normandy. I want guys going over the top. Anthony Lynn, the first kickoff, guess what he did, Skip? Went over the top and broke his leg. Now he got to ride 13 hours back home with a broken leg on a plane. So I know guys that can get guys in that frame of mind and get them to do that. Jason Garrett ain't it. Jason, come on, bro. Pick a side and stay there. If you want to be in the fast lane, get in the left lane, go. If you want to be in the slow lane, stay in the right lane. Hey, don't put your blink on and just move on down the highway. But stop this flip-flopping.
Speaking of flip-flops, I believe Jason Witten in flip-flops could outrun you right now.
In flip-flops. You don't believe that.
In flip-flops.
You don't believe
I do believe
You
that.
don't believe that in cowboy grays and a T-shirt, Jason Witten couldn't beat me running. Not on his best day.
You sure about that?
100.
Okay.
So what else did you expect Jason Witten to say now that they're on the verge of maybe getting back into the NFC East race, thanks to the Beagles faceplant at Miami?
Whatever.
It put them back on the map, and as the spokesman for the team, is he going to take a shot at Jason Garrett?
He did with Jerry.
Yeah, but that was different. It looked like that was the end. Looked like the season was over at that point. And then those lowly Beagles, they said,
whatever.
Found a way.
Yeah, here we go. So I do agree with this one line from him. I will say this for Jason Garrett. Teams do not quit on Jason Garrett. They might go 8-8 for Jason Garrett, but that's not quitting.
Do they ever start?
Good question. Very good question. Because what Jason Witten just said about Jason Garrett is classic damning with faint praise, because that's faint. Teams never quit on him. They don't play really hard for him either. He says they do fight hard, but baloney, no, they don't.
Right.
Because here's the point about Jason Garrett. Nobody in that locker room hates him. He hasn't turned anybody off. He hasn't alienated. He hasn't offended anybody in the locker room that I'm aware of, because that's not his style.
Right.
He's Coach Clapp. So he's everybody's supporter. He's going to clap hands. He might hit you on the butt. You know, way to go.
You think he never yelled at anybody, Skip, for missing a block or missing a tackle, dropping a pass? You think Jason Garrett has ever cursed anybody?
He has to.
He does curse more than you think, and I got that from that All or Nothing documentary.
But that behind the scenes in the coaching meeting.
But it was just, it was like coach talk cursing, but it wasn't used at somebody, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't used in chewing out a player.
Right.
I don't know the answer to your question, but I'm going to bet no.
Okay.
Not his style. So I saw a quote yesterday from Glover Quinn, used to play for the Lions, and he was talking about the current Lions, and he made the point that I don't know if they like or love Matt Patricia enough to fight for his job. They don't like or love, he said, his style, because Matt Patricia will alienate. There are all the early stories the first year about you'd pass him in the hall, players would pass him in the hall, and he just looks the other way. He won't even say hi. Well, he chip off the old block, you know, Belichick. So the point is there any love in the locker room for Matt Patricia? No. Is there some hate or dislike? Probably, yeah. Okay, so you don't build up any reservoir of goodwill among your players. So they're not going to fight for you. But on the other hand, will this team really fight for Jason? No, they just don't hate him. That's
Right.
the best thing I can say about Jason is they don't hate him.
But Skip, normally if you don't have to love a person but if you just like, you're more apt to do so. If I like somebody, I'm more apt to do something for them.
That's true.
If I don't like you, you ain't getting nothing out of me.
That is true.
So I would
Yep,
think,
I got
like,
it.
you know what? Man, Jason's a good guy, man. Let me go out and, I mean, you could do your job, what you're getting paid for, and then all that's a moot point. But
Okay, but the problem with Jason Garrett is he's not bad and he's not good.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Kind of vanilla.
He's just vanilla right in the
he's
middle.
just vanilla, huh? And guess what? Cowboys, what's their record, Jenny?
Kind of vanilla.
6-6.
What were his first
Kinda
three
right in the
records
middle.
as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? 8-8, 8-8, 8-8.
Yeah.
There's a theme
After two
going
8-8,
on here.
8-8s, I said, I've seen enough. Out. He's not a head coach. Maybe he can coordinate, maybe he can call plays. Not a commanding officer.
we gonna
not
see.
a leader.
We're going to see, Skip.
Yeah.
They get an opportunity. We're gonna see what.
What did I tell you all last year? They won in spite of. If something, again, they have external motivation, Doug Peterson.
Right.
Dougie prediction, he vowed we're going to go down there and kick their butts, right? And my team responded that night against Philadelphia, but that was the only external motivation of the whole year, and they're 6-6.
Right.
Okay, so he can't motivate anybody in that locker room unless somebody from outside, there has to be an external force.
Right.
Or something has to happen where the defense makes one crazy great play and they pick six you, or they scoop and score,
Right.
and all of a sudden, for reasons you can't explain, it just ignites.
Right.
Nobody disagrees that they're talented. Nobody has any issue with their talent. Well, maybe tonight's the night, but I doubt it. Will they just ignite? Will they?
Maybe the players need to look at themselves. You good as you say you are, you can get that thing done. Because Coach Belichick has gotten. Man, can you imagine if Coach Belichick had that defense with those big names up there, Skip Bayless?
Well, they're missing three of them tonight.
Well, they weren't doing much when they were in there. So what are you missing?
Okay.
Just names.
Well, I'm missing a little motivation. And again,
Well, Jerry, hold on.
unfortunately, there's no urgency tonight whatsoever.
All them pep talks Jerry been giving, they ain't motivating enough.
They're not pep talks.
Oh, what are they?
They're critiques after the game.
Oh, so that should be, he should be.
Post-game.
I thought you said he was lighting the fire.
Yeah. Well,
Must
he's
be-
been trying.
It must be in his fireplace.
Yeah.
Because the team ain't moved. It hadn't moved the needle on them.
Well, I'm just hoping that somehow Jason Garrett stays out of the way tonight.
So now you're going to put that on Jason again, huh?
Maybe
When you
Dak,
going to
he's
get
the leader.
get, some of them other coaches, little Chris Richard? What about his defense? Can he motivate
hadn't
those
thought
guys?
about
I thought Rod
coordinators.
Marinelli, I thought that's kind of what he was a motivator,
I
right?
thought so too, huh?
A fire lighter.
Oh, I
Yep.
guess when you got guys like Sapp and Brooks and Simeon Rice, it don't take very much to motivate them, and John Lynch and Rondé Barber.
That
I guess
works.
you don't really need no motivation, huh? So, because I saw him in Detroit for 3 years. Who he motivated up there? Oh, you see?
I don't know. Dak said we shouldn't need more motivation.
No, I'm with you,
Considering
Dak.
our record.
That's my guy. Dak,
We're
my
on
guy
the
now.
road. Let's make a statement. Let's get Skip to work in the morning.
Can Dak be my guy
You're
now?
saying you might not want to be here.
I don't want to be here if they lose.
Oh,
But
interesting.
if they lose, all is not lost. That's
Yes,
the
it is.
problem.
It's
There's
lost.
no urgency
Oh,
whatsoever.
yeah. Tomorrow will be lost for you.
How do you figure?
Considering-
'Cause you won't go get your customary slice of one pizza. There'll be no